Hi guys! If you watched my last flip through of Triple's Notebook, I said I was pretty close to having another one finished, and I wasn't wrong. I finished that one in a couple of days, so thought I'd have a quick flick through with you now. This might be one of the fastest Triple's notebooks I've ever gone through. It is a pocket page notebook. I have altered some of the pages in here, but it is a pocket page notebook. They are my favorite Traveler's Notebook inserts, and they are always linked down below in the description box if you want to pick one up for yourself. Now the cover for this one, you can see the spine here is literally just the pocket page notebook cover, but I had this mixed media background piece that I had done a long time ago, to be honest, and I didn't love how it turned out. I'd used this stencil from Paige Evans and just put it on some cards and attempted to do some watercolor over top, and it didn't really look great. So in the end I painted the entire thing with a couple of coats of this sort of copper colored paint, and I loved how it turned out, but it wasn't a piece that was like big enough to do a layout or a 12 by 12 layout, that is, and so I decided that I would use it to cover my notebook with, and I love it. The reason I left the spine clear is because it would have looked funny. I didn't want to take the cover off to recover it with the folded cardboard. The modeling paste I've used under here would have split and not looked great, so I just trimmed a couple of pieces and glued them to the front of the notebook, and I love it. It's so shiny and pretty. Anyway, apart from that, regular stamping in here, but you can see here from the dates, like a month and a half I filled this, which is pretty good for me. I've normally got a couple of notebooks on the go at any one time, and this one I finished super quickly. This first page here was a design team project for Kelly stamps, and I stamped directly onto my notebook here with this multiple stamp, multiple color repeat pattern, which makes it seem like I'm some super genius for stamping, but I practiced this stamping 3 or 4 times before I stamped it straight into my notebook. I could have used one of those practice sheets, and cut it and stuck it in, but I actually just wanted to stamp it onto here. There was no reason why not. It was going to fit within the borders. The colors I picked from this, I think it was an Instagram filter, to be honest, and I have printed it on vellum, so it's somewhat transparent, just to hide my my sort of moany journaling, which is fine. I don't mind putting not so great stuff in any documenting really, but I do like kind of hiding it a little bit. And this vellum, printing the photo on vellum was a fun way to do that. These little stamped pieces I just stamped on white card, trimmed them out, and I've just stuck them directly onto the pocket using some red line tape. You can see it through the photo a little bit, but I don't mind. It looks really cute, and I added a little paper clip, which I can see is a bit of a theme in this notebook. So that was a really fun page to do, and I love how the stamping turned out. This is another one of those filler pages that I did in my last walkthrough, inspired by Retro Hip Mama. And this one was based off a comment that Kelly had left when she saw what I had done on Instagram, and was sort of like, what do you do with it? And apart from those filler pages like I did in the last notebook, this was just an example to show you can totally make it into a layout simply by adding a photo. I mean, you can chuck some journaling in there or whatever. I filled up any little gaps with some Kelly stamps, just in that same sort of teal color scheme, and I love it. I love how it works as a layout as well as how it works as just a filler page. This was a fun page I did for the Pink Paisley design team using the new Again and Again collection, which I really love. I based the whole page basically off wanting to use this really beautiful gold foil vellum. I just love it. So there is definitely a process video for this one if you want any more details, but Such a gorgeous line. Obviously a busy month for design teams. This was another process video that I did for the Kelly Stamps design team. I still am loving this background. I know it took me a couple of times to get it right, but so cool. I'm still totally obsessed with my foil quill, and now I see that they've got a new type of foil quill where you can hand hold it, so I'm trying to resist picking that one up as well. But this was a fun page to do. Love all these little lily photos. It's International Dog Day or something along those lines on August 26th, I think. So I'm thinking I might do something similar again. Another design team page. This was for Citrus Twist and is probably one of my favorites in this book. Not just because of these cutie McCute photos, but also I really love how the page turned out. I used my fuse tool to create this little 3x4, well, 2 3x4 insert from the actual pocket insert in the pocket page notebook. And then just used up some scrap pieces that were left over from my kit, and I really love it. Really love this little guy. I am off to see him tomorrow, Monday, so can't wait, and I'm sure there'll be even more pages to come after that visit. This was a page for Feed Your Craft and the Aster Alpha from Brandy Kincaid, which I really love. But this technique of using these paper strips to, well, one, create a pattern on the page, but two, get my stamping straight was just a game changer for me. I love how it looks visually, especially being able to pick up some of the same tones as in my photo, but being able to get the stamping as straight as I did for such a long quote is probably unheard of for me. Not particularly straight stamper, and I'm also not great with like rolling lines or doing any of that sort of, you know, normal prep stuff that would make stamping straight a lot easier. I just want to get it done, and this really helped me do that. Another little Jack page that's from the same visit and the same kit from Citrus Twist. Just a fun way to use up a few of the die cuts that come in the packs each month. Just, there's always millions. This page has a little hidden flap for my journaling as well, which means I get to put a little story in, but it doesn't interrupt the visual flow of the page. Also multi-photos in here, which is a change, both the journaling and the multiple photos for me. So it was nice to challenge myself a little bit, and I love this little face, but I love this page too. So bright and colourful and cheery, just like Jack. It's a fun, bright, very bright page for Kelly Stamps, highlighting one of my favourite stamps in the stamp set, which I literally can't remember the name of right now. It's the Boss Babe set. The Heck Yes stamp from the Boss Babe set was one of my favourites. Used it a lot that month, but this was a fun way to use it. And yeah, I love all the colours. I'm desperate for all the colours at the moment. Being at the end of winter here, it's like, it's keeping me going. Another Kelly Stamps page, again with the Girl Boss Babe. Oh my god, Boss Babe set. This was using a vinyl transfer onto the pocket of the pocket page notebook to give me this transparent page on top of my photo, and the All Heart collection from Crepe Paper. I'm still obsessed, but running very short and determined not to buy any more. I do have some heritage stuff on its way to me, so hopefully that will take its place in my heart. This was a fun page I did for my patrons, just 5 things that they might not know about me. Again, another page with a lot of journaling and a lot of stories and a lot of photos, and a lot of stamping too. And I really love this one. It was something quite different for me, and I enjoyed picking out the things, although I will say I really struggled to pick about 5 things that you might not know. So luckily Shane helped me out there and got me going, and then I had a whole lot of fun reminiscing about my life. This was a little sort of page I did more as an experiment than anything else. I used a couple of Kelly, well, it was one stamp from Kelly Stamps, nope, to create this page, an acetate page, using the foil quill again. So it's kind of hard to see. But it worked really well. I was just experimenting with how the foil quill actually worked on acetate, and it works brilliantly. So all I did was chuck a really great big full page photo behind there, and a bit of pattern paper and a little bit of journaling with some washi tape. So super simple, but I really love how this page turned out. I think it's an example of how you can just create a really quick page that is visually really interesting. This was another page for Feed Your Craft, and again, another really simple page, but my favorite technique for journaling, because I am definitely not a wordsmith, is using lists. So lists for journaling really help me get words out. Otherwise, I don't know where to sort of start with telling a story. Well, start or finish. So a list really helps, and there's one of my favorite techniques for getting words down. And the last page in this notebook is another Feed Your Craft page with a full page sequin shaker. It's been a definite lack of sequins in this book because they're not one page to end it all. So I made this custom mix here to go with the colors from, this was a 4x6 journaling card and a 3x4 one, plus that Aster Alpha again to stamp out another quote. So lots of positive self-talk in this book, positive quotes, lots of bright colors. This is definitely an end of winter journal, trying to keep it positive and bright, and I love it. So I'm already more than halfway through the next one, guys, so you can expect another flip through very shortly. But thanks for sticking with me and watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again very soon. Bye guys.